Turbo is pumping very hard and it looks so good. So let's discuss it in today's video. Hey guys, Foxy's Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we're back talking about Turbo. Now, before I want to talk about price and why it's been pumping like crazy, I do want to say happy Thanksgiving to all my American listeners, to everybody in general. Thankful for you guys, thankful for the meme coin community. Let's get right into this because we have a lot to discuss. Looking at CoinMarketCap first. Look at the green that we are having. This is the days that we have been dreaming for, right? 91% up in the last week, 58% up in volume, 1,000% surge in volume. Sorry, 58% market cap, 1,000% surge in volume the last 24 hours. People are buying. They are pumping Turbo like no other, okay? Up 90% on the community sentiment. We were in the 80s, now we're at 90. Everything is looking fantastic for Turbo. So let's break it down, right? So what do we have drawn out on the charts? What we have is this liquidity right over here that I have been talking about. And I was saying how it is such a strong piece of the puzzle where price is going to go and what's going to happen after it sweeps it. What happens? We sweep it, right? Barely, but that's all we need. We get the sweep and we just pump to the upside. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be asking, why is liquidity important? Liquidity is important because all in that area, all over here, there is buy orders, buy limits, sell orders, stop losses, right? So what is accumulated? Money. Money is accumulated in liquidity and price wants to go where money is, okay? In the market, you will see sweeps of liquidity like this over and over and over again, whether that's up and then a push to the downside, whether that's going to be in the future a bearish sweep and a push to the upside. You're going to see it constantly, and it's one of the strongest things in trading that you can be looking out for, okay? So let's break it down even further on the 4-hourly, okay? So, or actually, let's go on the daily first. So we sweep liquidity, right? We sweep it once, twice, basically all 4 days sweeps liquidity before pumping to the upside because it was kind of uncertain where it wanted to go, right? Now, we have pumped from the low to the high 102% after liquidity sweep. And it's looking fantastic. We are going to be forming higher highs. We have got engulfing candles. We are taking out all of this selling pressure and just pumping to the upside, right? So we had days on days of selling pressure right over here, right? And we have basically one candle almost that has engulfed all of it, showing the strength of the buyers, okay? That is no surprise to anybody. So now we have shifted structure. This is a very clear structure shift. As you can see, right, we have our highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? We were in a bearish trend to the downside. Now, more likely than not, I am expecting these highs to be taken out, right? That seems very clear to me, and it seems very obvious because that is where liquidity is. Now, the test will be, does it want to break above this big imbalance in price? And we are currently in this imbalance as we speak. And we're going to have to be breaking above it to fully go even further up. And yes, this has been a fantastic push already, but we don't want it to stop. We want to keep pushing higher. So what would I want to see in the next coming maybe hours, as the way it's pumping, it could be hours, next couple of days, right? I want to see a high formed above this area, okay? It would be awesome if price were to close above here and then give us a little bit of a retest on the weekend, and then next week, push even higher. Now, will there be volatility this weekend? I'm not sure because we do have Thanksgiving weekend. So, and the weekends usually don't provide too much volatility anyways, but we have seen outliers in the past pump during the weekend. So it's going to be an interesting time to see what happens, right? But we want to see a closure above that high. And we have already closed, right, above all of these other highs, which is so fantastic. This is the best case scenario you could be waiting for, okay? So what do I want to see with this imbalance in price? What I want to see is a closure above and then a retest, which respects it and becomes now our support zone, and then a push to the upside even more, okay? So that push to the upside, what are we going to be looking for? We are most likely going to be looking for this piece of liquidity right over here. And the reason we're going to be looking for that liquidity is because, right, if we look to the left of it, we had a high, and a high, right? Price swept out these highs and has not been swept further, which means that there is liquidity sitting in this area. So more likely than not, price is going to want to go to that area and see whether there's, let's just say, this is a random number guess, maybe there's $200 million worth of sell limits there, right? And maybe we're going to get a little push to the downside. Okay, that would be fine, right? I wouldn't be complaining. But then we're going to have to rebalance and push even further up, okay? So now it's just, the name of the game is bullish trend, higher highs, higher lows, right? Because we've been bearish for so long. You can see very, very clearly highs, right? Lows, highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? You can see that. Now we want to take this entire move that we have been seeing since July, right? This, and we want to recover and rebalance and push to the upside. So this could be the start of something very, very good. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, where is the time to buy? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, right? So there's always two ways I see the market moving and buying opportunities. If you believe in a project very, very strongly and you don't want to miss out on the buying opportunity, buying now is still fine, right? Because if you're looking at it at the grand scheme of things, right? And we are targeting, for example, this high, right? We want to be taking out that liquidity because that liquidity is the strongest pool of liquidity in the near future, right? Because we have swept out this before making a massive bearish move to the downside. So there is an insane amount of money over there. Okay, cool. So price wants to head over there. If you get in from now to there, 162% gain, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But maybe some of you are hoping for an even higher push, right? Maybe you guys want somewhere over here. So the gain would be almost 300%, right? Now, will a lot of you guys complain that you lose out on some gains? Maybe, but maybe some of you won't. So if you believe in turbo, if you believe in meme coins, if you believe in crypto, I still think this is a good buying opportunity. However, if you want to wait, if you want to wait for a better buying opportunity, but missing your chance because it might move without you, this is where I think you could be waiting for. And to me, very, very clear, this area right over here is where price can bounce off of, right? I would not be surprised if during the weekend, price goes from this zone into this zone, right? So price tests it, bounces back, tests it, bounces it back. It really depends how the weekend will be moving, because a lot of the times it just accumulates on the weekend. You will see it through many other altcoins, meme coins. Price will accumulate during the weekend. Now, it could accumulate between two zones because that makes sense, because it doesn't have enough volatility yet to break through to either side. And we know this is a strong zone because price has tested it, right? After the push to the upside, it's tested this imbalance and pushed even further up. So we can more likely than not assume that this is a strong zone that should not be broken, especially with this pump, right? Is it possible we retest it? Yes. And do I think buying opportunity in this zone is fantastic? Absolutely. Okay. So that would be my game plan. Anywhere from 0.021 basically to 0.019. Okay. So 0.21 to 19. That would be my buying zones. Okay. Set an alert if you don't want to be paying attention to it too much, right? Looking at your phone every hour, every couple of hours. Set an alert. If you guys don't know how to set an alert, if you don't have TradingView, I would highly advise you to get it. There's free options, right? You don't need all of these tools and stuff that I am using. You can right click, add an alert, and then when price gets to that alert, you'll get a notification on your phone, and then you'll know, okay, let me either take a leverage trade or let me go into my whatever it is, Kraken, Coinbase, whatever, and let me put in money into Turbo. Okay. So it is looking fantastic. There is still much more gains left on the table and higher price to be formed and resistance zones that we're going to have to be testing like right away. I can see this area, right? That's going to be a big test because of all the accumulation of volume, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll talk about it when that time comes. As of right now, guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy the pump that Turbo is giving us, that the market is green. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor, and I'll see everybody in the next video.